right, welcome everybody. This is Dan with Ledger Support. Hope you guys doing well. It's a beautiful day here in Paris. Hope you guys getting good weather as well. Seems like finally spring is back. And with spring, the bull market seems to be back as well, which is excellent news. But for today, we have a lot to do. So as usual, I'm here for about an hour. So you've got until 6 p.m. to ask me anything you want. And yeah, just drop your question in the chat and I'll try my best to help you out. And if I can't help you, then I will direct you to our help center, which you can find at support.ledger.com. From there, you can click the contact us button, start a new conversation with the bot, and open a ticket with us. That being said, if you drop your question in the chat, I'll try my best to help you so you don't have to open a ticket through our support. Last thing before we start, actually two things, please drop a yes in the chat if you can hear me okay. The second thing would be, as usual, make sure you don't share your recovery phrase, okay? The 24 words that your device gave you when you first set it up. These are your private keys. They are super important and you should never share them, give them to anyone, create a digital copy of it. Don't take a picture of them, and certainly do not type them anywhere. Thanks, GJ. Thanks, GJ. Thanks, Rooney. Thanks, MS. Okay, great. So let's begin. There's a lot of questions. All right, so starting from the top, Linwood. Okay, is it possible to sync Ledger Live on desktop with Ledger Live app on the phone? Yes, Ledger Live on desktop and on the phone are separate. What's important is the private keys in your device, so you can just install Ledger Live on your phone or your desktop, and then you connect your Ledger device to either a version of Ledger Live, you add your account, and that's it. But if you don't add your account, then those two versions will not synchronize by themselves because they're not connected in any sense, if that makes sense. Next question is from Azdek. I need to move my coins from my ledger to the exchange and reset the device. With XRP, they keep 10 XRP as reserve. Is it the same with ADA, DOT, and Matic? No, it's not, Azdek. XRP has this thing where they will keep 10 XRP as reserve. Actually, it can be more than 10 XRP. If you have trust lines set on your XRP account, then each trust line will also reserve 2 additional XRP. So you can end up with, much more than 10 XRP as reserve, but the base reserve is, you're right, 10 XRP. But that doesn't apply to Cardano, Polkadot, Matic. They don't have this reserve system. Actually, there are very few blockchains that have this reserve system, so you are good. Next question. BT entering to Linwood. So be careful, BT, because you should never use the 24. I mean, that's probably what you said, but you should never. You can have the 2 devices with the same 24 words, but you should never type your 24 words into Ledger Live. Okay, it's super important. If Ledger Live is asking you to type your words, it's actually not Ledger Live. It's a fake version of Ledger Live, and there are a lot of fake version of Ledger Live, unfortunately, on the internet. You should never do it because you will get scammed if you do it. So I guess that's what you meant here. Jan Flores, I have Harmony 1 on Ledger S. All other tokens are on my Ledger Nano X in MetaMask. I see only the token from the Nano X. Yep, that is probably because if your Nano S and Nano X have different recovery phrases, then they have different private keys. So it's possible that your Nano X has its own recovery phrase, your Nano S has a different recovery phrase, and so you will not be able to see, by connecting your Nano S, you will not be able to see the accounts and the coins that are secured by your Nano X. Does that make sense? If you want to make sure that both devices have access to the same crypto, then they should have the same recovery phrase. You should restore your recovery phrase into both devices so they have access to the same private keys. Again, guys, the recovery phrase is just your private keys. Okay, it's one set of private keys. And so you can clone your private keys into as many devices as you want. Okay, for example, let's say I've got 2 devices here. I could take this set of private keys that secure a particular set of accounts, and then I could clone those private keys into those two devices, and now they would all have access to the same accounts. Okay, but this also means that if you give me your 24 words, then I will be able to clone your private keys onto my device and steal your coins. So never share your 24-word recovery phrase. And Jan, you say, I cannot find Harmony 1 on the Ledger NanoS. I think you just need to use the Ethereum app. Not this one, but the vanilla Ethereum app, Jan. This one. Okay, I actually don't have it on my device. And then you can, I don't know if Harmony is actually supported in Ledger Live, but if not, you can use a third-party wallet like MetaMask, and then you connect MetaMask to Harmony chain. So yeah, so Harmony is not, I don't think it's supported. Okay, I've got the Ethereum app. Actually, I must have missed it. Let me check Harmony. Yeah, so it's not supported. Harmony coin is supported, but on Binance Smart Chain, which is not what we want. But you can, I'm pretty sure we have documentation on, here you go. So Jan, check this out. Follow these steps to connect your NanoS to Harmony. I'll drop this link here in the chat for you. Okay, you'll get a notification in a second. Okay. All right. Next is from Laura Lex LD or Laura Alex, not sure. But the question is, hi, do you know why I cannot see the swap icon from DOT? Okay, so guessing you are in your Polkadot account here and you cannot see the swap button here. Okay, it seems to be normal. I can't see it either. It could be because you have a zero balance, just like me. It could also be because it's not supported here, but there should be an option to swap it from the swap tab here. So for example, if I go Polkadot. Ah, interesting. I thought Polkadot was supported now. Wait a second. I thought we used to support Polkadot. That's strange. Okay. So I would say, is it normal? I'm not sure. This might be a bug introduced by the latest version of Ledger Live. But if it's not a bug, then I would say yes, it's normal, because as you can see, I don't have the swap button here. So maybe that. That being said, you know, if you need to swap and Ledger Live won't let you do it, you can use a third-party wallet, a third-party service. I would recommend Rango. It's pretty good, and it's a DEX as well. It's fully compatible with Ledger. And I do think they support DOT, Laura. So yeah, check it out. I'll drop this link in the chat here for you. The screenshots are old. Okay, it's changed. The UI has changed, but the steps are the same. So don't panic. Laura. Okay, dropping the link in the chat for you. Okay, next, Kavanch. I bought Ledger NanoS Plus. I can restore the wallets without making any change in Ledger Live, right? Isn't that risky to do this, the device genuine check after entering the words into the device? So to answer this question, can I restore the wallet without making any change to Ledger Live? Yes, you can. You just type your old recovery phrase into the new device and no change needed to Ledger Live. Then you connect your new Ledger device to Ledger Live. There might be a genuine check, because Ledger Live will not know this particular device, so you might check the genuineness just to make sure it's authentic. But then once the genuine check is done and the device successfully passed it, then you can just connect to, you can just keep using the same account as before. There is no extra steps after that. Okay, so Laura, you're saying that Alex, you're saying that the swap icon for swapping DOT in DYDX and works fine, but now the swap icon is missing. Okay, so this might actually be a bug. Let me try. this might actually be a bug, because if you say that, right, okay, so I can see it on Ethereum, and I do think like Polkadot was supported in the swap section, so maybe there is a reason why you don't see the button anymore, because maybe one of the provider that was supported Polkadot no longer supports Polkadot, so we had to remove it. But yeah, I'll definitely need to investigate this. You know what? Come back tomorrow, Alex. I might have some update on that. Swap button Polkadot. Yeah. In the meantime, you can use Rango. I shared the link in the chat. So that would be this article here. Swap cryptos Rango. Yep. No worries. Okay. All right. So next question, Kivanch. I will import a null wallet to this. It's my ledger and OS is broken. Yeah. So yeah, you can just use your recovery phrase, Kivanch. Just use that, right? And type that into your new device, and you're good. It's really simple. And the ledger device is the only place where it's safe to type a recovery phrase. So I'm gonna drop. I can't find you in the chat, but I'm gonna drop this link here in the chat. So just grab it. Okay. All right. Next question from Darius. Hi. I can't nominate in dot account. The nominate button is not working, and the color of bonded amount is orange. Interesting, Doris. I think I've seen this issue before. It might be because I wonder how much dots you have. If you have a large amount, I've seen this bug before, where if you have like a very large amount of dots, you might get the little orange warning, which you can ignore, to be honest. And if you can't see the nominate button, I would say just do update ledger live, because there was a bug in a previous version of ledger live where that nominate button was gone. So instead, what you can do is just go to settings, help, settings, about, check the version number. It should be 277.2. If not, please update ledger live. There should be a banner at the top asking you to update. So do this, and then go back to your DOT account and check if you can nominate. If you can't, and the issue is still there after you update ledger live, you might want to use a third-party service to nominate, and I would suggest something like the staking dashboard, which is a Polkadot only service, which is a third-party service, but they are fully compatible and secure to use with Ledger. So you can do all your staking operations from the Polkadot staking dashboard, and we have a very long, very detailed tutorial here. So I'll drop this link in the chat here, just as a as a workaround if Ledger Live won't let you stake, and hopefully that works for you. Darius, you have the latest version. Okay, so you know what? It might be a bug. Also make sure that everything is up to date. Like you want to make sure that the Dot app on the device is up to date. So if you go into My Ledger like this, check if there is no update pending. If there is an update pending, typically there will be a little blue dot next to My Ledger, yeah? And then you'll have to update everything. So, for example, here you see like I've got a pending Polkadot update version. So I should update this. But if Ledger Live won't let you do what you're trying to do, just use the staking dashboard that I just dropped in the chat. That's also a good alternative to Ledger Live. And on my side, I will escalate the bug. So I hope that makes sense. If you have any other questions, go for it. Drop them in the chat. All right. BT. Okay, well, helping in the chat. Thank you, BT. Jonathan Curley. Ledger locked my account. So we don't have the ability to lock your account because you're the only person that can access your Ledger device. So Jonathan, it's possible that you are facing an issue where Ledger Live is buggy, and Ledger Live, somehow the password that you chose for Ledger Live, which is encrypted on your computer or phone, so locally, not with us, that file might have been corrupted, and as a result, you're not able to use the same password as before. In this case, you can just reset Ledger Live and then reconnect your Ledger device to Ledger Live and re-add your accounts. It's a little annoying, but it works. But we don't have the ability to lock your accounts. So I hope that answers your question. If you're facing a different issue, you can add that to the chat and I'll get back to you. But no, not this one. This is for Ledger Recover. Reset. Okay, here. That's the one. So you can follow those steps to reset Ledger Live. Ledger Live will reset, all your accounts will disappear, but don't panic, it's normal. Your private keys are on your Ledger device. You can re-add your accounts with your Ledger device. Jonathan. Okay, I'm dropping this link in the chat to help you. Next, Khalil. Does one have to update the firmware all the time? I would recommend it, yes, because firmware updates mean more secure Ledger device, more features as well, and you avoid connectivity issues between Ledger Live and your Ledger device. So I would suggest that you keep your firmware up to date as much as you can. Yeah, so BTU correct here. Okay. Next, Agostinho. Good video, good audio. Thanks, man. If you have any questions, drop them in the chat. Welcome back. Next question from none other than Satoshi Nakamoto. Hi, if I do have 2 accounts of ETH when I update, is there any problem? Will the coins disappear? No. You can update, your private keys are in your Ledger device, okay? So as long as you have your recovery phrase, you're fine. You can update Ledger Live. Ledger Live, you can even uninstall Ledger Live. Your accounts will disappear from Ledger Live, but it will still exist. They will still exist, and you'll still have the private keys, which is the most important. You can update the device as well. The device, this will not affect the private keys. One thing that can happen, but it's happening less and less with newer Ledger Nano models, is on old devices, we used to have this thing where if you updated from a very old firmware, then there was a chance that the device will reset, wiping the private keys in. If that happened, then your only option to have access to your accounts was to restore your recovery phrase inside the device. But with newer version of the Ledger Nano, this doesn't happen quite as much. It's also the reason why you should keep the firmware up to date, so you don't do those big jump updates that might have a chance to wipe your private keys. But again, your private keys are yours because they are on your recovery phrase, hopefully. And if something happens to the device, you can restore the private key, you can get a new device, you always are in control of your private keys. I hope that answers the question, Satoshi. Okay, next, Leah. Bonjour, so question in French, I'll change language for a second. Bonjour, quand je télécharge mon historique, j'ai plein de lignes de NFT avec des frais en ETH, mais je n'ai jamais envoyé ces NFT. Comment est-ce que c'est moi qui paie les frais en recevant? Donc Léa, non, c'est pas toi qui paie les frais, c'est des scams, en fait, c'est des arnaques. Donc tu peux les ignorer, en fait, ces NFT. C'est sûrement des NFT qui apparaissent dans le portfolio, ici, comme ça, là. Et ça, c'est des arnaques. Donc n'interagis pas avec elles, avec ces lignes-là. Tu peux juste les ignorer et voilà, t'as rien d'autre à faire, en fait. Et les frais sont payés par le scammer, pas par toi. Donc t'as pas à t'inquiéter, voilà. Juste, mais assure-toi de ne pas toucher à ces NFT. Okay, switching back to English, sorry for that. Kivanch, I watched some videos after importing the software checks for genuine. Isn't this risky? Genuine check should be done first. No, it's not risky. The genuine check, actually the genuine check is performed. You don't necessarily realize it, but every single time you connect your Ledger device to my Ledger here, a genuine check is performed. on your device. So the genuine check is something that happens all the time, but we just make it very obvious at the beginning, so people get, new user get familiar with genuine checks. But they get performed every single time. And genuine check is never dangerous. The worst thing that can happen is you actually bought a device that was not manufactured by Ledger, so it's not a Ledger device, and then the genuine check will realize that, and it will warn you like, hey, this is not a Ledger device. Actually, it looks like a Ledger device, but it's not one. I've never seen a case like that. I've been working at Ledger for 3 years. I've never seen a fake Ledger device. I'm not saying they don't exist, but I've never seen one personally. Whitey, Dan, my only question is, how are you doing today? I'm doing great, Whitey. I hope you are doing great as well. I don't know if you sent me an email last time, but I don't think I've received it, but I need to double check in my inbox again. But that being said, if you have any questions and you want like super quick support, you can drop the questions here in the chat. If not, rest assured, I will get back to you by email. If you did open a ticket via the traditional way, which is like via the contact us button here, then the bot probably gave you an ID number. In this case, you can share the ID number so I can find your ticket in the backlog. And I'm going to up. Okay. So next question from Dominant Investment LLC. Hey, I had to reset my ledger and now I can't connect with Ledger Live nor my mobile. So are my coins stuck? How do I get access? So the coins are not stuck, but I mean, they're kind of stuck in the sense that you need to, I had to reset my ledger. Okay, so the ledger device, right? So now there is a connection issue between your Ledger device and Ledger Live. So in a sense, yeah, they're stuck because there is this connection issue. That being said, it's not because your Ledger device has a connection issue with Ledger Live that it necessarily has a connection issue with third-party wallets that will allow you to access your accounts. So what I would suggest, Dominant, is you should update absolutely everything. And this is the best way to kill connection issues. So we have a guide called How to Perform a Complete Update of Your Ledger Setup. Please go through this article here. I'll drop the link in the chat for you. And try to update absolutely everything, okay? Also, USB issue, right? Connection issues, they can be solved sometime by, you change the cable. You make sure you use a OTG cable. That's a cable that can transfer data, not just a charging cable. You can also change the port, right? So try different ports on your computer because the port you're using might be a little grimy or there might be some issue there. So try different ports on your computer. You can also try a different computer. And if you have an Android phone, you can also try to connect your Ledger device physically with the cable to Ledger Live on Android. So there's many, many different ways to fix connection issues. We also have a fix USB. Yeah, we also have this tutorial that you can check, Dominant, and I will drop this link in the chat as well for you. Some interesting questions in the chat, guys. I'll get back to you in a second. Agostinho, Sarah, are there any news of the Radix situation in Ledger Live? It's been almost 2 months. I'm starting to get worried. Unfortunately, I don't have news. I'm sure like something is happening, and I would guess that the Radix team is working on it. The truth is, so the issue is on the issue is on the Radix team because they did not submit the updates in time that is compatible with the latest version of the firmware on the Nano S Plus. So that's why the issue is happening. So they should be the one providing the update to us. It's the same thing with Kadena. There was a bunch of apps as well that were affected by that, and all the teams affected except Kadena, they're still working on it, have submitted a new version of the app. So the best solution I would say is like if you know the Radix team or you're active within the community, you can just tell them directly that, hey, we need like us user, we need that update, and you guys need to ship it. If they say, well, we've shipped it, then the issue is on our side. It means that the update has reached us, but now it's going through security review before we actually make it available in Ledger Live. That could take some time as well. I don't have an ETA, but I would start with asking questions to the Radix community, and then yeah, we'll see, because there might be again an app in the pipeline here. Next question from Mike. Mike, how many users have you all lost in the past year? I don't think we've lost. So I don't have the numbers, Mike, but I don't think we've lost users. I think we've only gained users because Ledger is a good wallet. Of course, I'm biased. I work for Ledger, but I personally really like using Ledger. But also because a lot of more people are coming into the market and they choose to use a Ledger to secure the funds, and we're here to help. So I think we've only gained users. Next question from CK. Yeah, Dominant, you're welcome, mate. Give it a try. Tell me how it goes. Okay. Next question from CK. I'm trying to transfer lock coin from Zerion to another address, but when I finalize the transaction before confirmation, I realized that the address is not the same with the address that I put in. So, CK, there is something that happens sometimes where the address when you move tokens, the address you will, wait, hang on, CoinMarketCap here. The address you will see on the device is actually the address of the smart contract that controls the lock token. So there is a lot of tokens that are called lock. So I'm not sure which one you have in mind, but just to give you an example, let's say, for example, you're talking about Houdini swap, right? So Houdini swap token has a contract address on the Ethereum blockchain, which is 0x922DBA01, and so on and so forth. Okay, and there's characters in the middle. If you move Houdini swap with your Ledger device, there will be a moment where your Ledger device will show you this contract address. So that might be what you're seeing on the Ledger device actually. So maybe double check this, use CoinMarketCap, find the contract address for lock, and compare that address with the one that shows on the screen. If you're not sure, you can also like send a small amount first. Instead of just sending everything, you just send a small amount of tokens. You wait to see if the tokens, clear successfully. And if they do, then you know that it's safe, and the address that showed on the device was probably the token address, if that makes sense. Yeah, Agostino, you might want to try XRD out of Ledger temporarily, I would say, because I'm actually not sure when they will ship this app. They will do it eventually, but I'm not sure when they will do it. Okay, next question from Javier Urtubia. I updated my Ledger, and upon reboot, I had my Bitcoin and ETH transfer out of my Ledger. Javier, that sounds like a scam, honestly. Like, when you say like, I had my Bitcoin and ETH transfer out of my Ledger, during the update, did you actually type your recovery phrase into a website, something maybe that could look like Ledger Live? And yes, you can rekey your recovery phrase, but if you did type your recovery phrase during the updates, then you were not actually interacting with genuine Ledger software. It was like some sort of scam. So I'm sorry that happened to you, but so the device is still safe to use, but yes, you will have to rekey it. And then, so we have documentation that explains how to do it. This article here, how to change your recovery phrase and create new accounts. This tutorial describes how to safely reset your Ledger device, create new secure recovery phrase and new accounts. Yeah, so it's recommended if you suspect that your account's or existing 24 recovery phrase has been compromised. So I think, unfortunately, that sounds like some sort of phishing scam, Javier. I'll drop this article in the chat here so you can take a look. Okay. Okay. So yeah. So thank you for the honesty here. So go ahead. The device is still safe to use, but of course, all the accounts that are associated with your ledger, with the recovery phrase that you shared, those accounts are not safe anymore. So you'll have to reset the device, create a new recovery phrase, remove your old accounts, from Ledger Live because these are compromised. Create new accounts secured by the new recovery phrase, and so follow the steps. Honestly, I'm just gonna be honest with you. There is a chance, because there is always a chance if you find the person that controls the accounts where the coins have gone, but like from my experience, very few people manage to find it because those scam network, they are international. The person that scammed you could be somewhere in, I don't know, some remote country, part of like some sort of mafia that is doing that for a living. So there is very little chances that happens. I just want to be honest with you. That being said, if it's someone that scammed you, then that's a different story. But I want you to stay safe as well. It's best to just rekey the device and just keep going and just take that as a lesson. Then put yourself potentially into a dangerous situation and interact with people that could be potentially dangerous, if you see what I mean. Okay. Next question, Rome Lomer. Hi man, hey, how's it going? If you have a question, drop it in the chat, Rome. Next question from Denise. Why can't I see my balance of coins that I have in Ledger anymore? I used to see my Shiba Inu, Baby Doge, and BNB in my balance. I still have the same Ledger. So Denise, it's possible that there's many things that might have happened here. Maybe your Ledger Live has reset, thus removing all the accounts. And in this case, you can just reconnect your Ledger device to Ledger Live, and then you manually re-add your account. So for example, you had Shiba Inu. I'm guessing the Shiba was in an Ethereum account, so you would just connect your Ledger device, open Ledger Live, select your Ethereum account, boom, continue, then re-add the account with your Ledger device. Okay, I'm not gonna do it, but you see what I mean, right? And then if there's an account with some SHIB and Baby Doge and all that stuff, then it will show in Ledger Live, and then you just re-add it, and then So that's one way. You do the same thing for the BNB, okay? Assuming they are in a Binance Smart Chain account, you do the same thing, connect your Ledger device, add a Binance Smart Chain account, see if the account you're looking for pops in Ledger Live. Another thing you could do is potentially go to the Discover section here, go to Zerion. Zerion is a portfolio manager that can help you secure your coins as well, and select all network here, tokens, and see if you can see your coins here in the list. Okay, but I would do the add account first. Javier, you are welcome, mate. Stay safe, and don't hesitate to come back if you have any questions, okay? I just want you to be safe going forward. Next question. Roni, what's the best after the bullpen for setting assets? After the bullpen? What's best after the bullpen for setting the BTC assets? I'm not sure I understand. The question, Roni, but I'm gonna take another of your question. Is taking assets on Ledger secure and free? It is secure. It's not free in the sense that we take a commission, or the validator that you select will take a commission out of your rewards, because it's a business model to stake, right? There's a cost associated with staking that someone has to bear. So it might be us if you choose to stake with Ledger, but it might be another validator if you choose to stake with a different validator. But someone has to run the computer and front. There's a lot of cost associated with staking. And also the transaction for staking will cost you a bit. depending on the network on which you stake, it might be a lot or it might be very little. If you stake, for example, I don't know, Solana has very cheap transaction fees, so the transaction to stake will be very painless. But if you stake on Ethereum via something like Lido, for example, then the transaction fee will be much heftier. And the reason why is because Ethereum is very popular, so a lot of people use it. Hence, the fee go up. Cool. All right. Agostinho, not financial advice, but do you know if it's possible to DCA in DeFi? If so, how? Yes, there is a way. I know one way to do it, and it's by using. It's on Solana, so I don't know. You know, it's you can DCA Sol and Solana tokens using Jupiter Dex. This guy here, Jupiter Swap. There is a DCA here. See, DCA, then you can decide to DCA from like whatever coin to whatever coin, but they all coins on Solana, and then you can select like how often you want to DCA, and then boom, you create the transaction, and then it will automatically DCA. The transaction fee will be super cheap as well because it's Solana. So Jupiter, great DEX. I hope we integrate them into Ledger Live at some point, and I'll share the link with you. It's jupe.ag. Okay. Of course, Agostino, just give it a first try with a small amount. Okay, just as usual with third-party apps, because you will blindside this. So make sure you create a separate account first, transfer the funds that you want to DCA. Experiment with the app, try with a small amount first, and once you're secure and everything, then you can DCA larger amounts. Okay. Super low drag. Your messages have been retracted. I think probably because you got rugged by YouTube here. That happens a lot. You can retype in the chat. Maybe try not to share like links if you added a link. Hiram bot. How do I know if my NFTs are created by a real fake rare artist? And if I had an old NanoS, do I need to get a newer version to move them or list them for sale? So to answer the NanoS question, yes, you will need a new device because the NanoS cannot. You can send NFTs to an Ethereum account that's secured by NanoS, but you will not be able to move these NFTs with your NanoS because NanoS doesn't support moving NFTs. So it's a real limitation with an NanoS. One of the reasons why it's probably better to use an NanoS Plus, just like this one on the screen here. How do I know if your NFTs are created by a real artist? Well, you can check the smart contract, the contract on Etherscan. I think the Ledger Academy has some content about NFTs. Yeah, you know what? I will send you to the Ledger Academy. They have a lot of content on NFTs here. I think there might be something about what you're asking here, like how to stay safe and how to, audit an NFT. So I'll just link the Academy here with you, Hiram. And also I would warn you against fake NFTs, right? So those will be malicious NFTs that look like airdrops. Those are complete scams, and those you can just ignore them. And you're welcome, mate. So I dropped two links. Okay, the first one is the Academy, which you can check out. The second one is for you to learn how to handle malicious or unknown NFTs that look like airdrops. I'll show you an example here. If you go to the portfolio section here, you'll see like NFTs like that. NFT received, Polygon, yeah, airdropped at USDT, redeem.io, redeem USDT, redeem 10 ETH, they all scams, right? They all scams. Scammers will send them to your wallet hoping that you interact with them or you go onto a phishing website. So you can just ignore those NFTs, right? They can't hurt you if they are in your wallet. but just don't try to interact or follow any links or anything like that, okay? Next question, super low drag, okay, Dan, super important question, please take care. What is the correct BTC type address to use to withdraw from nice hash? You must withdraw 100% only, and you only get one chance. Please help. I would go for just a vanilla native SegWit address. So that's the default address that you get. Bitcoin, you know, like a native SegWit, like that, native SegWit. This kind of addresses, they're almost universal. They're the most vanilla type of Bitcoin address you can imagine. That being said, you know, super low drag, you should definitely reach out to the nice hash team. They must have support, right? So someone will be able to confirm that. I'm pretty sure it's safe, but you know, just in case, if nice hash has a support team, just reach out to them and say, hey guys, like I've got this native SegWit account on my ledger. Is it okay to withdraw to this SegWit account? Is there any compatibility issues or anything like that? But because of the nature of the Bitcoin network, all of these should be, they should all be safe. All right, so guys, quick pause. This is Dan with Ledger Support. If you just joined the stream, I'm here for another 15 minutes. Yep, drop your question in the chat so I can help you out. You are on the stream, the Ledger Support stream, and I'm here to help you out, okay? All right, next question. So CK, yeah, so you did 2 times, both times Zerion automatically changed the recipient address, and of course, I canceled the transaction. Could you please help me how to transfer safely my coin with Zerion? Yeah, as I said, like it was probably a token address. It was probably the token address that you saw on your device. Did you catch that when I was going through this, CK? And again, start with a small amount. Okay, always. Next question from Chad. Hello, I've never opened my ledger for 1 year. Please let me know how to update it safely. Since I saw some comments in Twitter said that there are some issues when they update. Please help. So Chad, thank you for the question. There is no issue when updating, right? The only thing that can happen, depending on how old the last firmware update was, is that your ledger device might reset, which is, if you have a Nano S, there is a possibility. If you have a Nano S Plus, Nano X, much less of a chance. But as long as you have your recovery phrase, you're good. Okay, you're good, because even if your device resets, then you will be able to restore your private keys into the device with your recovery phrase. If you don't have your recovery phrase, don't update. It's as simple as that. Now, I don't know which device you got, but I'll just drop a few links for you. Actually, if you could tell me what kind of device you have, that would be great, Chad. So is it a Nano X, Nano S Plus, or Nano S? What I'll do is I'll drop some links for you. So starting with update Ledger Nano S firmware, or you know what, even better, just follow this tutorial here. This one applies to any device, and it's going to show you how to completely update your setup. So Ledger Live, firmware, apps if needed, like everything. So I'll drop this link here in the chat for you, and you can just take a look. Nano X, okay, so great. So this this tutorial can apply as well. But if you want the Nano X, the specific Nano X tutorial, then here it is. I prefer the other one because it will show you also how to update Ledger Live and your apps and everything. But this one, yeah, but you can have both. Here, dropping it in the chat as well for you. Okay. All right, next question. Darius, I have the latest version, So hang on, I have to scroll back up. I can't nominate in dots the color. Yeah, so Darius, I would say it's probably a bug. I would say just use the sticking dashboard with your Ledger device. Make sure to close Ledger Live before you use the sticking dashboard, so the two apps don't, compete with each other. Okay. Roni, yeah, sticking is safe. BT was helping. Thanks, BT. Aztec, off topic, how does Ledger make money or survive in this industry? we make money by selling devices, and we also make money by like offering those services, right? When you swap, when you buy, and when you use some of those apps, we take a low commission. It's very small. And also when if you stake, for example, let's say near, and you select a Ledger validator, for example, Ledger by Figment, then part of the commission that we take for that goes to Ledger. So there is different ways. We just don't do we have different revenue streams. So Chad, once I update my Ledger, there is some possibility that the device might restart. Yeah, it could reset, but since you say you have an Nano X, and the chances are much lower, especially if your firmware is not too old. But yeah, there is always a chance. But as long as you have your recovery phrase, then you're good. It doesn't really matter. You're fine. So yeah, so you shouldn't be afraid of updating, but again, make sure you've got your recovery phrase with you. Yep, you're welcome. Okay. Mac Razor, best way to keep and stake Floki with Ledger. So staking Floki not available in Ledger Live, maybe via third party. Yes. To keep Floki, I think you can do it in an Ethereum account. So you would just create an Ethereum account, right? Ethereum, boom, and then you send your Floki to that Ethereum account. And now they are in your Ledger device. Now Ledger Live, the app, will not give you the option to stake, but you can connect your Ledger device to something like MetaMask, for example, and then you can stake your Floki through, the Floki app. I don't know really. I'm not a Floki staker myself, but oh wow, look at this, 200% staking. Right, Floki API staking. Okay, I'll need to dive a bit more into this ecosystem, but you can start with just sending your Floki to your Ethereum account. Okay. Next question. Dirty. What is expert mode on Nano X? So it's something that only exists for some apps. So for example, I'll show you. So it's a feature that you can activate on an app-to-app basis. So not every single app will have the expert mode. So for example, Injective, which is let me check. I don't have it. Okay, never mind. Maybe crypto.org. Okay, so crypto.org I think has an expert mode. Yeah, see, expert mode. You can enable it, disable it. And these might be required depending on what you're trying to do on that blockchain. So in Ledger Live, you won't use it, but maybe if you try to use a dApp on the crypto.org chain, the Chronos chain, for example, then there might be situations where you need to activate expert mode. On Injective, if you have an Injective account and you're trying to stake your INJ tokens, you will need to activate expert mode on the device as well in the INJ app. Otherwise, you won't be able to stake in Ledger Live. Okay, next question. Danny, when will the Ledger stacks be released? So I don't have an update for you, unfortunately, Danny, but we'll send you an email once the stacks is available to ship. Agostinho, yeah, I've answered this question. Next question from Venkat.com. What if my Ledger mobile apps get hacked? My seed phrase and funds are still safe. What precautions can be taken in this case? So it doesn't matter if Ledger Live is just an app on your phone, but it doesn't store anything, right? So the tokens are like the private keys, which is important, are secured by the Ledger device. Your app is just here to connect to the Ledger device and interact with your accounts, but it's not storing anything. The precautions you should take is really to like never share or type or take a picture of your recovery phrase, because I'll give you an example. If your phone has malware and if you take a picture of a photo, right, of your recovery phrase, the malware on your phone might recognize your recovery phrase and then send it to a scammer, and then they will be able to drain your funds. We have documentation that explains like the one-on-one basic security practices with a Ledger device, Venkat, and you can read this. You can read this article, watch the video, and that should help you. Okay. So Laura is saying, I'm not able to withdraw my DOT from NanoX. The transaction fails right after the last step. I think it's about the orange color. So Laura, you know what? Let's try. The color of the bonded amounts is orange. Okay, so Roulette and Alex, you guys have the same issue here. So Alex, I suggested the sticking dashboard. So let me suggest something else as well. If you guys can't do the transaction in Ledger Live, try Polkadot.js. Yeah, try a third-party wallet. Okay, so connect your Ledger device to close Ledger Live, connect your Ledger device to your computer, and use Polkadot.js here. There is an entire tutorial that will show you how to do it. With Polkadot.js, you can do pretty much everything. You can stake, you can bond, unbond, nominate, and you can also send and receive. So I'll just drop this article here, and on my side I'll escalate the bug, but in the meantime you can use that to manage your accounts. Okay, so I'll tag both of you. There's another option called Talisman, right? So you can also use Talisman plus your Ledger device to manage your accounts. So plenty of ways to keep using your access your Polkadot accounts if Ledger Live won't let you do it. All right, next question. Jesus is king. Please fix Pixel. I can't only see it on my Ledger, only on MetaMask. Okay, so Jesus is king. Yeah, that's because Ledger Live doesn't support Pixel, I'm guessing. Try going into the Discover section here, click Zerion, and don't know on which chain Pixel exists, but just toggle like all networks. You might be able to see it here, and then you can manage it with your Ledger device and Zerion. Next question, cryptographer Chris. I keep hearing that there is a backdoor entrance to Ledger that will allow the government to take your crypto. Any info on this? Thanks for your time. So I think honestly this is FUD. I think it's a consequence, but it's a bit our fault because when we launched this service called Ledger Recover, we badly communicated about Ledger Recover, and so a lot of people thought that Ledger Recover. So Ledger Recover is a service where you can, if you want, it's completely optional. You can back up your seed to create a backup for your recovery phrase in case you lose your recovery phrase. So there's a way to get your seed, your private keys, back into your Ledger device. It's completely optional and you have to pay for it, right? And if you don't like it, you don't have to use it. It's called Ledger Recover again. But when we launched the service, a lot of people thought that this was going to be the default way of keeping your funds on the Ledger, which is not the case. Again, Ledger Recover is just completely optional, and you actually have to pay for it, and you will never force you to use it, right? So if you update your device, that's not going to activate Recover. It's really like there is an an entire onboarding with multiple steps to start using Recover. So that's probably where this idea of like a backdoor is coming from. It's just a bad communication about Ledger Recover. That being said, Recover can be a cool service if you want to create an additional backup on top of your recovery phrase. So yeah. But you don't have to worry about the backdoor. There is no backdoor. Agostinho, yeah, thank you. You're welcome. Javier, you are welcome as well. BT, thank you for helping as well. Yeah, you're right, no backdoors, yeah. Next question from Karan Patel. I'm not able to withdraw my DOT from the NOx. The transaction fails right after the last step. Yeah, so pretty sure. Chris, you're welcome, mate. Yeah. And you know what, Chris? Actually, if you want to learn more about Ledger Recover, there is more. We have documentation on Ledger Recover. Technical documents here. There's a whole slew of contents that we created to educate about Ledger Recover. So if you're curious about the service, you can take a look. You don't have to, but just so you see what I was talking about here. All right, back to Karan Patel. Not able to withdraw my DOT from the NanoX. The transaction fails right after the last step. I think all of you guys have the same issue. It's an issue with Ledger Live. Again, I would suggest that you use a third-party wallet in the meantime. So just use Polkadot.js or Talisman to manage your accounts in the meantime. I would say, if you're not a super power user, then Talisman is probably easier, and you can connect your Ledger device to it, access your accounts, and just continue doing all the stuff that you do usually in Ledger Live. On my side, I'll just escalate the issue with DOT. I don't really know what's happening. I'm guessing it's an issue with the backend. Yeah. So what was your name? Karan. Okay. And guys, I'm going to leave it here. Denise, I answered your question. I don't know if you got my answer, but I basically said that you should add your accounts. So connect your Ledger device, re-add your accounts, Ethereum account, BNB account. If not, try to see if you can see your coins via Zerion here in the Discover Zerion, and select all networks, and see if you're able to see your coins. All right, guys, so I will leave it here. And I've got a hard stop now. If I didn't answer your question, I'll be live tomorrow as well, same time. So you can catch me tomorrow. If not, please, again, don't share your recovery phrase with anyone, okay? I appreciate that you came to watch the stream and ask questions, and I'll see you tomorrow again. Hopefully the Polkadot issue will be solved by now. I'll make sure to escalate that to our devs so we can do something about it. Cool. All right. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. And stay safe until tomorrow. Bye.